Hi, this is an online lesson for the people who haven't been able to be online or people who want to do self-study. The goal of this lesson is to learn the following vocabulary. My advice to you is use pause sometimes to pause this video so you can read something or if you need to do an exercise. So make sure you press the pause button sometimes. Right, go to page 59, have a look at the picture there. What is globalization? What do you think globalization is? Think about that. Read the text, maybe pause this video. And also, for a company, imagine you are a company. What are the opportunities and what are the threats of globalization? Please press the pause button and think about that for a moment. So, globalization is the increasing interconnectivity between countries, people, companies, and the exchange of people, money, and ideas. Also, exchange of information and of products as well. Friends, can you think of examples of globalization? Okay, the things that enable globalizations are the internet, lower transport costs, and air travel. Air travel is much cheaper than before. Um, so what are the possibilities and what are the threats for companies? Well, possibilities are worldwide markets. I mean, you can export your products anywhere. You can find customers anywhere around the world. And the threats are there's also competition from anywhere. So from anywhere, new companies can enter your market. That also means, for instance, that in the fast food business, McDonald's and Carl Jr., they are the big players. If you want to start a new fast food restaurant in Managua, it will be difficult because you have competition from these huge international players with a lot of money and a very strong brand. Everybody knows them. So, but what does it lead to? In the end, because you have more competition, you have more pressure to make savings. As a company, it's more important to lower your costs and to be competitive. The one way, just one way to save costs is to do offshoring. Offshoring. Now look up, pause this video and look up the definition of offshoring in your book. I think it's on page 160. I'm not sure, but look up the definition of the word offshoring. Yes. Okay, you found it. Well, and then think, hey, think about CTEL. CTEL, is that related to offshoring? What CTEL does is they offer call center services for American companies. That means American companies don't need to have their own call center. They can transfer those business processes to Nicaragua. Then my question is, why would an American company transfer business processes to Nicaragua? What is the benefit of that? Think about that for a moment. The benefit is lower costs because the salaries are lower here in Nicaragua, so they can save money. Of course, there might be extra costs as well, and there might be risks, but we're gonna go there later. For now, I just want you to know what offshoring means. Offshoring means as well that another example of offshoring is, for instance, zona franca. American companies are having their products produced in Zona Franca, and in that way they save costs. So offshoring generally is letting business processes transferring these to other countries, which also means that you may have to fire some people. Some people may lose their jobs. So that is one of the disadvantages of offshoring. All right, but we're going first. I want you to press the pause button. You really, really, really need to press the pause button and read this text. This text is mainly what this chapter is about. I hope you've read the text, otherwise go back and pause the video. So, about the WAM. This is not about offshoring. We're now gonna talk about outsourcing. Think for a moment, what kind of processes does the WAM outsource at the moment? And press the pause button, please. Okay, right now, I think it's cleaning and it's security and maybe some financial administration. Okay. Then, why is it a good idea to wait? And then, is it a good idea to offshore the cleaning activities? What do you think? I think it's good to outsource the cleaning activities, but you cannot offshore the cleaning activities because you can't transfer these. You cannot transfer these activities outside of the country. They have to be done here in this location. So you can. That's why you cannot offshore these activities. You can outsource them, but then again, what are the benefits of outsourcing? And I'm not going to answer this yet. We're going to go to an example. This is an old car. It looks brand new, but it's an old car. In the beginning of the 20th century, car companies used to produce their own tires. Do you think that's still the case? Do you think car companies still produce their own tires? No. Because what they did, they produced those tires by themselves, but then they outsourced that to another company. Another company made the tires for them. That means outsourcing, and in that way, the car company can focus on making the best cars, and the tire company can focus on making the best tires. So this will lower the cost of tires probably. This will make the tires get tires of better quality, and the car company is focusing on making the best cars. So both companies focus on their core business activities. Now we go back to the WAM. Cleaning, is that one of the core activities of the WAM? No, I don't think it is. So that's why they outsource cleaning. There are other companies who can do that probably for a good price, and who maybe they can do it much better than if the WAM arranged it by themselves. So, what do you think? Is it a good idea to outsource teaching? Is it a good idea to outsource teaching? Please press the pause button and think. No, it's not a good idea to outsource teaching because that's your core business process. You want to have control over that. You want to keep the good teachers and you want to develop those teachers. So you need to have a close relationship with them. And so cleaning, you can do outsourcing for cleaning, but it's better that you do not do that for teachers. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so how can you save money as a company? Well, You can do this by downsizing. Of course, what is downsizing? Go to page 150 and look up the definition and press the pause button. Do that right now. Pause, please. Downsizing actually means reducing the number of employees in your company. But wait, you cannot reduce it like that if that will affect customers. So you do downsizing to reduce costs, but I mean you got to be careful that it doesn't affect your business, that it doesn't affect your profits, that it doesn't affect your customers. Another way to save money, or well, this can be related, you can do downsizing in your company and transfer business processes to other countries. And what is that called? That is called offshoring. Yes. So what is offshoring? It's actually a form of outsourcing. You're outsourcing business activities to to other countries, like international outsourcing. So go to page 150 and look up the definition of offshoring, please, and press the pause button. Okay, now think by yourself. You have been to Carl Jr., right? Or can be McDonald's. What kind of business processes do they have? Part of the vocabulary, the word business processes. What kind of business processes does Carl Jr. have? Pause, please. Pause. Press the pause button and think about this. Alright, cooking the meals, serving the meals, cleaning, organizing campaign, thinking about strategy. Those are all business processes. Back office. What is the back office? Am I working at the back office as a teacher? What do you think? No, I'm not working at the back office. Look up the definition at page 150 and press the pause button. The back office means people who don't have contact with customers. So, CTEL, working for a call center, is that working at the back office? What do you think? No, that's not working at the back office because you have contact with customers. Working at a call center is not working at the back office. At least, I mean, if you have contact with customers. If you're doing IT support, if you're helping with people with computer problems of a company, then you're helping the employees. So then it will be back office work. Yeah. So who works at the back office? In the back office at the one. Think about that for a moment. Press the pause button. Downsizing. I think we already talked about downsizing, reducing the number of employees. So now is my question. What's the connection between globalization, downsizing and offshoring? What's the connection between globalization, downsizing and offshoring? Well, I can tell you globalization leads to more competition and more pressure to reduce costs, and more pressure for downsizing. And also, if you want to reduce, if you reduce the number of employees, you still want to offer the same service, so you need to you can reduce costs by offshoring, transferring business processes to other countries. Yes. Okay. Now go to open the CD and go to listen to Unit 7, Listening 1. I think it's track 19 of the first CD. The text is also at the back of your book. Please listen to that. And please think about these questions while listening to the audio. And please press the pause button right now. So, what kind of work can be easily transferred overseas? That's work with clearly defined goals. You don't work for which you don't need much local knowledge, and work Yes, and not you don't need too much communication for that. So that's call center work, IT support. So if people have problems with their network or with their computers, it can be human resources as well. It can also be production of goods. A lot of clothing is produced in India, for instance. Factors affecting the choice of location: language, culture, time difference, political stability. Um, Other factors, of course, the most important thing are the salaries. What are the salaries of the people, of the employees? The availability of highly skilled people. Yes, and those are more or less the factors affecting the choice of location, and also maybe also the distance, the transport costs. Risks: everything can go wrong. Offshoring takes a lot of money, a lot of investment. It's not for small companies. Well, it depends, but mostly it's for the bigger companies because it takes risks and investments. The risks are quality issues at at the call center. For a moment, think about what could be quality issues at a call center. Think about that for a moment. Pause. It could be that people are rude, not nice, or people are not able to help customers in a good way. Because you can be nice, but if you don't have and can't help answer the questions of customers, that doesn't matter. Risks can also be political instability. Risks can be dependence on the other company, and it can be confidentiality, sharing sensitive information with companies in from another country, so that can be a risk. Advantages: think about yourself. What are the advantages of offshoring? The advantage is the main advantage is to save costs, to make savings, but also you have a lot of highly skilled people in India. There are a lot of people with a university degree available. It can be entry to a local market. Yes, I think those are more or less the advantages. So offshoring, you can watch this video again, but this was already in the video quiz. So what's the difference between offshoring and outsourcing? Think about that for a moment. Offshoring is transferring business processes to another country, and outsourcing is doing it within the same country. An example of outsourcing is: I'm a small company, I don't have time, I don't have knowledge about financial administration, so I call somebody else in Managua will do the financial administration for me, and I pay that person. That is an example of outsourcing. Okay, we're gonna skip this. So one of the reasons, please fill in this gap with one of the words of page 150, please, and pause. There is a shortage of highly skilled people. Oh, sorry, here I should have said this first. Sorry. Okay. A student from the USA goes to Managua to study at the WAM. He pays the WAM to study there. This is an example of A, B, C, or D. Please pause. The right answer is D, none of the above. This is just a student who visits Nicaragua and studies here. That's not an example of offshoring. No. I'm going to have someone in India do my homework for me. This looks like, I'm just saying this looks like A, B, C, or D. Please pause. This looks like offshoring. Yes, because you pay someone in another country to do something for you. But offshoring, only companies can do offshoring. Maybe organizations, maybe governments as well, but not private persons. Okay? So it's none of the above, but it looks like offshoring, absolutely. A student. Wait, we got this. Yes. Yeah. I think we already did this. Yes. So Please do this exercise and please press pause, because otherwise you get the answers. That's not good. Please press pause right now and do this exercise. I'm now giving you the answers. I hope you have done the exercise, otherwise you won't learn. Please press pause if you haven't done the exercise yet. Here comes the answers. 1. Outsourcing. It's a small company, so they don't have money for offshoring. We need to downsize. Yes. 3. Offshoring. 4. Shortage. 5. Back office. 6. Business processes. 7. Savings. To make savings or to save costs. 8. Offshoring. Donald Trump hates offshoring because it's other countries are stealing American jobs, so he is against offshoring. So now try to imagine you are a representative. Read this and try to do this by yourself. What would you say? What kind of advice would you give? You can send me an audio of this in a mail. That would be awesome. And I will listen to it and I will correct it and you will learn. So if you want to learn, send me an audio with this, okay? Alright, so these are the advantages of offshoring. Lower cost, possibility to enter a market. You can read this, I think it's all clear. Of course, cultural differences. Before you go somewhere, you already know what the language, if there will be a language barrier or not. You know something about cultural differences, but still in practice it can still be a disappointment. Offshoring is not always a success. It can lead to failure. That means all your investments, you just lose the money. You will not have lower costs, and also maybe your customers have been affected because your customers, people at the call centers, didn't treat your customers in a good way. So offshoring certainly is risky. It's not easy. Dependence means that the company, you have a relationship with that company, you're connected with a company, another company. If that company decides to increase their prices, what are you going to do? Because you're dependent on that company, so that's difficult. One option is to do multi-shoring. Multi-shoring is that you have work with different companies in different countries. In that way you spread the risk. So here I think this is more clear. Press the pause button to read this, please. Press the pause button to read this. Press the pause button to read this. Thanks, this was a presentation. I hope it was useful. And see you next time.